What's up, y'all? It's Josh with Time Machine Creative. Um, Back for a special episode of Creative People Time. I'm not putting out an interview this week, just because I'm traveling, and um, I'll go ahead and pick that back up next week. But I did want to just provide an episode if you are tuning in weekly, and give an update. So this one will be a solo episode with just me, and you are lucky to hear me immediately after my Johnson & Johnson shot. So I took the one-shot dose here in Houston. So yeah, backtrack. Traveling to Houston this week just to keep up with the property that I have, and just hang out with friends and do some errands and some shit like that. So okay, I guess they have me take the shot, and they said you're gonna have to wait over there in this parking lot for 15 minutes, and I just literally just posted up, and now they're ushering me out. So I don't know, maybe I'll go park up somewhere else to be safe. So yeah, they jabbed the shit out of me for that Johnson & Johnson shot. I don't know if they're just trying to move fast or what. Maybe it's just a big needle. I don't know. That hurt. But feeling good about being vaccinated. We'll see what kind of side effects I have, if any, for myself. But yeah, I mean, it's a weight off my shoulder a little bit, hopefully. And yeah, traveling and getting tested and all that bullshit is kind of a bitch. So I'm glad I can possibly put that in the back rearview mirror. So yeah, I got vaccinated. I'm here in Houston. I missed Houston. I got here and I was like, it feels like home still, especially with the friends that I got to spend some time with and I'm staying with, and got to go see the condo and the complex that's located at, and yeah, it feels like home. Driving the roads and all just the rules of the road out here. Houston drivers aren't the best and aren't the friendliest, but it's different than getting, in Guatemala. I have to rely solely on Ubers, and that's just a hit or miss on how people drive. And in general, out there, they're gonna drive they're gonna be a little bit more erratic. So I'm driving right now. Been driving all around Houston, running errands. Recently my laptop got started freezing up and shit like that, and before that even it was kind of struggling to handle some of the things I was doing with it. Got an older XPS 13, and it got in my head like, hey, you got to get a new laptop, find yourself a deal, get something that's good quality, and blah de blah. And I found something, got my mindset on it. Went to Micro Center, which is an electronics store out here. Bought it, took it home and tried it out, and realized like the color accuracy just wasn't there. Like, it had all the performance that I wanted. It had the Ryzen 7, it had 16 gigabytes of RAM, it had just the basic Radeon graphics, which is not great. But yeah, got home, tried it out, and I'm just like, damn, these colors aren't matching up. So I tried tweaking with the calibration, trying to get the colors good, and it just wouldn't get there. And then I did a little bit more research, a little bit deeper dive, and they're like, yeah, the color accuracy on this is not that great. If you want to get good color accuracy, hook it up to a monitor that has good color accuracy, and that should solve that problem. And that's just not what I was going for. I was trying to get something because I knew that I was going to be traveling to Costa Rica with Christine in a minute, and I wanted to have something that I could do more things on and do while I'm out and about. So the whole point was to have something that I can work on with, without the need for a desk, So having to connect it to a screen isn't optimal. So anyway, returned it, and now I'm just gonna have to figure it out with the laptop. I think it might be a virus, so I'm gonna mess with that. See if I can get that working better stretch it out. And honestly, it's a pretty decent computer. It's the Dell XPS 13. It's got the i5, which is an older, lesser, processor with 8 gigs of RAM. And so, yeah, I just wanted to go up to the 7, either the i7 or the Ryzen 7, with at least 16 gigs of RAM. And now I'm like, well, shit. Like, since this one didn't work, maybe I should just go with something with the graphics card with a good screen, something's gonna last me long, and that makes sense. And what I'm talking about is investing in myself, investing in this art as a business, and doing it right. So I might take a pause. I'm taking a pause and seeing what's up with that. So I turned off the AC so that it didn't have the air blowing in the mic, but maybe that might be a mistake in Houston, Texas. That might not be a good move, turning off the AC in the middle of Houston. So turned it back on, turned the fan down a little bit. So yeah, that's my little story about my laptop. I came all the way to America to try to get a nice laptop, and didn't. I don't know. They showed me one that had some pretty decent specs and a really nice screen, and like, it's called the HP X3 something 365 or something like that. Um, had some good specs and it was about the same price. So I was thinking about doing that, but I might just think about it for a while, do some more research, and I can get it shipped over to Guatemala if necessary. With using an army address that Christine's boss gets to use. So anyway, what's funny about being back in Houston is that I miss the humidity. I miss that hot, humid feeling. And yeah, Guatemala's not as humid, and it's you know breezy, and it's just not as hot. And so maybe it's just because we're not quite to the bad parts of the summer. Damn, I hope this has been recording well. Let's see. Pause the recording for a bit, so just to check the audio. Anyway, I don't remember exactly where I left off, but I'm in Houston. Missed the humidity, and yeah, it feels like home. Got to hang out with some friends and drive around. That's being able to drive around is dope. Like, I just like that freedom. People bother me on the streets. People about it's just a bitch to drive sometimes, and I get that. But the freedom aspect, where I can go anywhere I want, grab anything I want, especially here in America, like, there's everything you want. In Guatemala, we were having issues finding very, like, specific things that we don't think about, um, that we just take for granted. Because they don't have Targets nearby us. I know they probably have Targets somewhere out there, but not by us. So I went to Target, grabbed some stuff, for Christine and for myself, and gonna go hit up a sports clothing store called Academy. They got some good stuff, and gonna get some art supplies. Man, just being able to speak English most of the time is dope. Like I went to a paper store in Guatemala, right there by where we live, because I wanted this very specific kind of paper that I draw with, that I use to draw colored pencils on. And so this specific paper is very pretty sturdy, and it's very smooth, and you know that combined with really good quality colored pencils gives you the control of blending, of getting that color really deep and really fine. Like, if you go with like Crayola colored pencils, they have their limitations. They're just not as soft, and that's like the softness of the colored pencils determines like how much of the color comes off of the pencil, and how clearly it comes out on the paper, plus the smoothness of the paper. Because if the paper has all these little ridges, the lead on the pencil is going to have like little imperfections. So anyway, I'm looking for this specific kind of paper, and I walk into the store. They gave me this weird look, like what the hell are you doing here? Like, and I paused at the front door because at most businesses in Guatemala, you have to take your temperature at the front door. You get some hand sanitizer, then you go on about your day. But so I pause at the front door. Usually there's someone comes up, take your temperature, but no one did. And the lady at the desk across the room, she's like, "Can I help you with something?" And I was like, "Oh, do I have to take my temperature?" And they're like, "No, just get some hand sanitizer." I'm like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Can I help you with something?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for this specific kind of paper." And I'm speaking in Spanish. My Spanish isn't great, and I say the word Bristol in the only way that I could imagine to say it in Spanish, which is Bristol, right? And they're like, "Yeah, I never heard of that paper. We got this other kind of paper." I was like, "Okay, I mean, maybe that's what it's called here." She's like, "It's upstairs. Like, go upstairs and check it out." I'm like, all right, cool. So I go upstairs, and there's a couple other girls like behind another counter. They're busy talking, so I just kind of walk by, and I'm starting, just kind of looking around. That's kind of what I'm used to. Just look around, see if I can find it, and if not, then I'll leave, right? So I'm looking, and then I hear them call out, like, "Hey, can we help you with anything?" And if someone can help me, I'll accept the help. I don't mind. So I tell them, "Look, I'm looking for this kind of paper. It's called Bristol." They're like, give me the dumb look again. Like, they don't know. They don't know what I'm talking about. And they're like, "We have this other kind of paper. You want to check it out?" I was like, "Sure, yeah." They mentioned it downstairs. I'll check it out. Show me. They show it to me, and it's like more for charcoal drawings and for other kind of pencil drawings where it's like really rigid and really bumpy. And I'm just like, this isn't it. I'm like, and I messed up. Didn't know the word for smooth. For some reason, I thought it was suave, but that's more like soft. So I kept saying, so I started saying like, it's a paper that's, suave. And I'm thinking it's a smooth, very smooth paper, but they hear me saying soft, and so they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So I realize that they don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna look around, start feeling papers, see if I can find something with the right texture. And the girl's just sitting like 2 feet away from me, just looking at me while I'm like trying to like find paper. And after a minute of looking for it, I'm just like, okay, this is uncomfortable, and I got the fuck out of there. So, so here I am in America, and I'm gonna go grab me some Bristol paper, some smooth liso paper, papel, that I can draw on while I'm out there. So, little things like that. And who knows, maybe if I was saying the right word, I could have found the right thing. Probably so. Probably so. So overall, as a consumer of art products right now, I'm 0 for 2. couldn't get the paper, couldn't get the laptop, and so hopefully by the end of today I'll have me some good art paper that I can take back to Guatemala and jam out on whenever I want to. So. Um, yeah. As far as what I'm doing with Time Machine, next week I'm coming out with my comic, my web comic. Finally, officially, I'm gonna have it out next week. No questions about it. I've already found a couple people I'm gonna send early access to, and if you're listening to this and you want that, hit me up. Um, it's not a big deal, but next week it's just a deadline I set for myself that I thought was realistic, and it turned out it was. And it's cool learning learning these scheduling things and keeping myself accountable for stuff. So hopefully, I can continue to do so and put out another issue in a couple months. So yeah, this is my attempt at making an intellectual property, a set of characters, a universe of super brown kids that will eventually grow into super brown heroes. I have been going back and forth about the character that's based on me. So the four main characters are based on me and my brothers. So they're all boys. But I was like, maybe we need a girl in this. And, I'm trying to be more woke. And, there's girls in my life that I want to empower too, right? I have nieces, right? So I'm like, maybe I should change one of these characters into a girl. And I was like, why not my character, right? So I've been in my head, I've been going back and forth. Switch that character to a girl. Call it a day, right? The only thing is, I had already kind of built in uh, characteristics to this character that you would probably see as negative stereotypes to a girl. So that's where I'm a little bit a little bit skeptical. Part of it is that this character is a little bit conceited, because that's something I'm just honest with myself. Sometimes I could be a little bit big-headed and full of myself, and historically, especially when I was younger, definitely had that characteristic. So, you know, building that into a girl, like, I know there's conceited girls. I just don't want it to seem like it's a stereotype that all the other characters don't have that, but the girl does. Um, what else? Oh yeah, and this specific character is like a witch. Like he's like a wizard. He's like a similar to a little bit kind of like Scarlet Witch. He's got red glowy things, and he can move things with his mind, and he can do more, but that's not really close to that. But so now it's a girl that's conceited, that's a witch, and it's like, maybe I shouldn't. But then if I switch one of my brother's characters, then it's like I made one of my brothers a girl, and I have plans for more characters that are gonna be girls, and one of the most important characters in this